guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Dream Giveaway Garage, and guess what? I have one of those pure American sports cars with so much legendary status. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 1966 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, but guess what? This is a big block bad boy. But before we get into this silver bullet with a drop top, let's talk about what's going on here. Very interesting how the generations of the Corvette have played out. Obviously today in the modern era, we have the 8th generation, the C8. But back when this generation first came out, it was 1963, it was the 2nd generation. And even though this generation is so popular, it's actually the shortest generation run out of all of the generations. What do I mean by that? It only goes from 1963 to 1967. So this 66 big block is the second to last year of the C2 generation of the Corvette. Now, of course, when this one debuted, the big talking point was the split window. And obviously a lot of people that bought the split window did not like the way that it blocked view out the back. But still, when you fast forward to today, the split window Stingray is the one everybody wants. Well, what's special about this one is that, first of all, it has only 19,000 miles on it. That right off the bat is unbelievable. Second of all, it's got that sweet 427 cubic inch big block underneath the hood with a Muncie 4-speed. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a muscle car Stingray that is that 2nd generation, is this the must-own one, the must-have? If you're going to go this route, why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this Sebring Silver 66 drop top and find out. Right off the bat, it's just such a pure form. Yes, I love the 1st generation, but I really feel because Zora Arkus Duntov, the man who I consider to be the true father of the Corvette, when he took the reins as head of the Corvette development, you could really see how it played out so nicely. Now, at the front of the business, you have that classic Man Ray design from the concept car. We have the first Corvette to have flip-up headlights. They're actually not electric rising, they're vacuum assist. So it's kind of crazy how they slowly turn. They actually twist. You have your thin chrome bumpers, so sleek. And then down below, you'll notice how we have our turn signals and then that functional egg crate grille, flat silver with a little bit of chrome. But man, the way they took the concept car and turned it into the Stingray is unbelievable. And remember, C2 is the first time ever that the Corvette was referred to as a Stingray. And when you think about today, that name still exists. Now, as we come across the center portion, love the way you have that bulge that starts on the top of the front nose. You got your cross flags. That's a piece of Corvette history that all Corvettes have, the cross flags, checkered flag, and the Chevrolet bow tie flag. Drop down, you can see that classic egg crate grille design. Very slim on the chrome bumpers, but this Sebring Silver really checks off the box for me. And that was what was cool, was back then, basically almost all the colors were in reference to some type of racetrack, race course, or race itself. But let me know what you think about the front of this Silver Stingray. Now, as we rise up, you got the bigger bulge that flows into the hood because we have the big block Corvette Stingray. Love the way they did that script with the Stingray name. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, how come this doesn't have the painted Stinger hood because it's a big block? That was only 1 year, and that was the last year, 1967. I actually prefer this design more. It just fits the body lines a lot better, and I don't know, it looks great in silver. Silver really is doing it for me. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? wheel and tires. So you're going to notice that we have the gold line, very thin pinstripe tires. This is a 15-inch wheel. And these, believe it or not, are not knockoffs. These are simulated knockoffs. They're actually hubcaps. There's a steel wheel behind there. And this is basically just a decorative hubcap, which has that spinner knockoff design. But the way this car sits, normally I'm not a big fan of hubcaps, but that's when they really used to put a lot of detail into everything. And that really shows with this Stingray. Now coming down the side, you're gonna have that 427 turbojet engine. I'll explain when we pop the hood what the heck turbojet means. And then I'm gonna have Steven swing around and show the gills. Love those gills on the side. Another piece of Corvette sort of history that's followed all the way through the lineage. This one is not only a 427, but it's a 427 with those factory side pipes. I like the way they put this very beautiful heat shield to protect your legs when getting in and out. You'll also notice the NCRS sticker. This is a 3-time top flight NCRS award winner. And what NCRS stands for is National Corvette Restoration Society. They're the ones that rate cars that have been restored, cars that are original. And because this is a top flight, that's the highest rating you can get. 3 separate times. Kind of cool. Love that with the drop top, you have that tonneau cover, keeps everything sleek. And this one also has the body colored hardtop, which it's interesting because these convertibles look great with that hardtop in place. Now, we do have rear wheel drive. All Corvettes are rear wheel drive except for the E-Ray today, of course. But this has posi traction and that safety lock rear end setup that was an option. Now, as we come around the back, love the way that rear body line in the fender rises up and then it comes into the tail. Of course, you got the Corvette Stingray name just like up front. You got your fuel filler door with the cross flags. This one does have the optional power antenna. And then working our way down to ground level, look at how beautiful they did those tail lights. The round tail lights, this is where we start to see them come into play. Obviously the round tail lights are no longer in existence. The last year of round tail lights or some type of roundish tail light, believe it or not, was 2013 with the C6. But I love, because this has side pipes, there's nothing exposed out back. Just looks really, really great. Very minimalistic. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood of this Stingray and check out that 427. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. It is that reverse opening hood. That was also another piece of Corvette history. What's the last year that they had a reverse opening hood? 2019, the end of the front engine Corvette. Now, as we swing around in, this is where you'll notice that 427 turbojet. Now, back then, during this time period, you know, it was all about jet, it was all about propulsion and power, it was the space age and all that. So that's some of the names that basically were sort of marketing points for Chevrolet. There's no turbo and there's no jet propulsion. But trust me, when you go on throttle, you're gonna feel like you're on the tip of a freaking jet. But love having that original chrome air cleaner with the 427 badging. Chevrolet always has the orange block. That's part of Chevrolet history with those bright orange valve covers. But what do we have for actual performance? So it's a 7-liter 427 big block, 425 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. It is bolted, like I said, to that Muncie 4-speed. 0 to 60, if you know how to work it, 5.4 seconds, quarter mile in 13.2 at 107 miles an hour. And the top speed in this thing is about 145 miles per hour. It's only one of 2,500 427 Corvettes Stingrays built back then. That's the 427, 425 horse. It's got the safety track, heavy duty suspension, and like I said, that posi traction rear end. But looking underneath the hood, having that simplicity. There is no power steering. There is no air conditioning. All you have is a water pump, an alternator, and that crankshaft pulley. That's it. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's fire up this beast and hear its roar. All right, guys, we're inside this drop top 66 Corvette Stingray with the 427 big block. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, this is one of my classic dream cars. I could only imagine how much it cost back in 1966. Well, here's the crazy thing. Like I said, this is one of 2,500 big block convertibles that they made back in 66. And the original price, the way it's basically optioned, was around $5,000. So I guess a lot of money back then, but man, if you could get this for $5 grand today, you're doing pretty good. But let's see just how nicely done this particular Stingray is to the door panels. I love the silver with the black interior. You actually have a lot of analog handles. This top one is gonna be, believe it or not, for your corner window, those pivot. Then you have your main crank, which is for the main side glass. You got your chrome door handle to pull it shut, and that little round ball there, you pull back on that, and that allows the door to open. Now slide on in, you got your dual cowl dash. Nice rise here, the Corvette Stingray name. Love the aluminum finish. An oh crap handle for your passenger. And then as you slide on in, love the way they did this very aeronautical setup. You got your analog clock, which still works. All your different controls for your radio. Here is your AM/FM Delco radio with the ability to search for stations, but I just love how slim and clean that is. A little tiny area for some Tic Tacs. And then you have that chrome ball of a shifter for that Muncie 4-speed. You can see the throws were a little long, but engagement is perfect. And the way that they did all the nice silver trim looks great. You got your gear pattern, in case you're confused what the heck to do. 2 lap belts, and I like the way that they click into this center console area. There isn't actually a trunk in the C2 convertibles. You just put your stuff right behind you. And then of course the seats, the vinyl, the black, really nice material. And you can see how it just looks fantastic with the silver and the black motif in here. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the teak steering wheel in this 66 Stingray. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. There used to be a saying back then that originated because of the Corvette. It was basically a saying that was wrap your ass in fiberglass. Because remember, the whole body of the Corvette since day one was fiberglass. Love the way you have that nice metal sill plate. You can see the pedal box with our triple pedal setup, the clutch, brake, and throttle. You could do your heel-toe downshifting. And this little guy right here is to turn on your high beams when you are driving at night. Now, of course, the seats are manual, sliding and reclining. It's interesting because I'm 6 feet tall, and with the top down, you're gonna see when we go for the drive, there's not a lot of buffeting. The teak wood steering wheel, nice thin spoke. You got your horn button in the center with the cross flags. Love the way they did the spokes here, and your turn signal, that's it. When it comes to the dash, you got your large tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, voltmeter, oil pressure, and water temp. So it's got all the important gauges you need. And I love the fact that this thing is so organized very well. You can see the mileage, 19,639 miles. You got your switch gear for your lights, your wiper, and of course, your lighter for when you're gonna, set off some cherry bombs or some smoke grenades or something like that. But it is that time. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fire up this beast and go on throttle in our Corvette Stingray. All right, guys, we're in this 66 427 Corvette Stingray. absolutely just so visceral of an experience. No power steering, no power brakes. It's just you and that big block underneath the hood. Here we go. Wow. Unbelievable. I gotta adjust my side mirror. Here we go. Look at this. Wow. It's just a totally different time, totally different era. And the sound, that's really where it's worth the price of admission. Just a crazy, crazy experience. I'm so glad to bring it to you because you just can't do this anywhere, that's for sure. Seeing that big bulge in the hood, going through that Muncie 4-speed, just feels really, really good. But it's all about that ultimate sensation. God, the sound. Wow. Unfreaking believable. It really is. It's crazy how easy it is to drive. The clutch is a little heavy, but other than that, man, slides from gear to gear so nicely. What a classic, iconic sports car with major freaking muscle underneath the hood. Major muscle. And we know that, yeah, it's 425 horsepower, but all the manufacturers underrated their cars when it came to horsepower. So it actually has more, believe it or not. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go! Nice. Just feels so freaking fantastic. Unbelievable. So great to be sharing this with you. This is how it was, man. This is where the Corvette continued to just be that very special car that it is. And I'm just glad to share it with you. Oh yeah. Nice. Just gotta be careful because those little skinny tires don't have much grip whatsoever. Just feels so good. Driving along. Feeling the air, the sound, the whole shabam. Awesome, just awesome. Well, I hope that this has been a great experience for you. We're gonna get back to Dream Giveaway Garage and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a Stingray second. Hi guys. Another fantastic day here at Dream Giveaway Garage. Definitely got to thank Lori, Ryan, Chris, and the rest of the crew giving us the keys to this pristine 66 big block Stingray. But let me know what you think. Is this the must-have Corvette muscle car from back when things were just a little bit simpler? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of Raised Rides family. Make sure very soon, Steven's going to be launching his book series about weightlifting and working out. It's all about helping others through his journey of lifting the heaviest weights he could find. So thank you, Steven, for trying to help others. But like I always say, if you can't help yourself, you can't help other people. But Steven could definitely help himself. So thank you, Steven, for helping yourself to everything. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.